skill, or training. The boys are here.
GCES.
Gotta come up with a better intro than the boys are here.
Right.
Galen Bargerstock, Clinton Smith with us this morning. We talk about GCES, the products, the services that they offer, all helping to you to form your retirement plans. Gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Todd.
It's good to have you both back with us here today. So I wanted to talk about this because, for people it can be a very intimidating, a daunting thing to walk into a shop, any sort of environment where they're not familiar, and to say, this is what I need, can you help me?
Yeah.
In this particular arena, the arena in which you two operate, it probably is even more intimidating because they've got a whole life's worth of savings that they want to talk about, and they need to have their future set up and done correctly, and they need to have confidence that you guys are the ones to do it. So let's talk about the whole experience of meeting you and your staff and getting this whole process started. What happens when I want to go to GCES and set up my retirement savings?
So honestly, I look at it a lot like it is a restaurant. So I used to work in restaurants before I did this, and I kind of treat everything the same way. You walk into a restaurant, the first person that greets you is the hostess, right, to get you your seat. That would be Lorraine Taylor. She's been at our office. She's actually the employee that's been there the longest now. Also my sister, and she's the one that actually sets up that initial meeting. So she's really the first person that someone would talk to. You know, Galen, Nolan, Evan, all of our agents are meeting with people in multiple states. So she's really trying to manage multiple calendars and not just meeting times, but also travel times. So last week we know he was in Michigan. So, she has to do around those schedules and make sure, even whenever he's traveling, that he doesn't go from this side of Pennsylvania to that side of Michigan and back and forth again. So she's really the first person that you want to talk to. She's the one that will be able to set you up with an appointment, answer any questions about the things you need to have for your appointment. And she's the one that if you need to reschedule or schedule another appointment, she's the one you talk to.
Yeah. Now, Galen, when they first meet you or any of the others, what should they anticipate? Are they thinking, I need to gather up every scrap of paper I have and drag it in with me to Galen so that we can sit down and start hammering this thing out? Or how should that experience unfold?
Well, really, like Clinton said, Lorraine's the first person they're going to talk to. And Lorraine is very knowledgeable of what they need to have with them on the first meeting with me. And really, it's just a conversation the first time usually. Figure out everything that you have, where it should be, where you want it to be, and kind of go from there. But it really is a conversation, and Lorraine will set everybody up for success, not failure.
Yeah, exactly. that's probably a key. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, you want to get the basics down. Who are they? What is their marital status? What is their age? What's the income levels? All of these different things. You want to get eventually to where you know all of this information so that you can maneuver and get them the best possible package you can find.
Yeah, I mean, the one best tip I guess I could give today for being prepared would be go online and look up your Social Security. The Social Security office years ago kind of stopped mailing every single year that Social Security statement. So people are kind of unaware of that piece of their retirement. And almost everybody has that piece inside of their retirement in some manner. So I would encourage everybody to go to ssa.gov, create your online account. That way, when I ask about Social Security, you're already prepared and we know how to log in and things like that. And if you don't have it, I can guide you into, how to log on and create your own account as well.
Yeah, Clinton, when people look at that statement, none of them are going, I'm fabulously wealthy, I can't wait.
Yeah, no, not a lot. Yeah, a lot of people are worried that Social Security might not even be there by the time they retire. That's a hot topic for at least the last, 50 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. The federal government keeps borrowing from Social Security and not putting it back in.
Yeah.
And then they say, well, yeah, it's going to be there for you, but only if they eventually do put some sort of funding into it. So it's a scary thing.
And when it comes down to it, Social Security is just another form of insurance. We pay into it the whole time while we're alive in order to get money out of it later. It's really the same thing. It works just like insurance does.
Yeah.
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 As long as they keep it.
Yeah. So that's the first thing, Galen, that you would have them do.
Yeah, that's the first thing. I mean, it's very important to have the Social Security information, but also the investment information, current employers, past employers, things like that. And then we're going to create a plan together, and that would put us into, I guess, the second phase of our office.
Yeah.
And
So-
that would be Tina.
Lorraine's the hostess, Galen's the server. After that, Galen meets with the table or meets with the family and comes up with the plan. He then gives that plan off to Tina in our office, Tina Neese. She's awesome. We met her through work going to Colonial to get our car serviced. And it was just the right time, and she started working for us a couple years ago. But
She's the cook.
She's the cook,
Okay.
we'll say, because she's going to take whatever paperwork and plans that he wants to put in place. She's going to make that happen with the company. She's going to follow up with the person the family or whoever it is, to make sure we have the signatures on the right stuff, because it's not always easy to move your money from there to here.
Yeah.
All the companies want different paperwork. They won't accept other third-party paperwork. So Tina works with the companies that we're putting you into and the companies we're taking you away from to make sure that process is seamless. And then once she's done cooking it, Galen comes out and brings the food out and presents to you, hey, guys, this is where we're at now.
Yeah, Galen, I'm guessing that process that he just described is probably one of the ones that requires the most patience on your part.
Yeah, over the years, I've just realized that paperwork can get messed up, and it takes a long time. Like, we don't mess up the paperwork, but sometimes the paperwork shuffle seems to be a tedious process. You know, some companies, like Clint said, require their own form. Well, you don't know they require their own form unless you call them and find out, and the client always has to be on the line. So it's not something that we can do without their knowledge. So we have to arrange time schedules to talk to the clients, to talk to the companies. So it can be tedious.
Yeah, I would guess. But at the same time, I would guess that there's probably very little that you have not seen before.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, we've streamlined the process to make it as easy as possible, because once you work with an employer, well, then you know how that employer works. So,
So we're talking with GCES this morning about the very first steps that you take in designing that retirement plan. Obviously, we've talked before about the fact that it's going to be different for somebody who is really prescient enough to say, I need to start doing this when I'm 35 years old, as opposed to somebody who says, boy, it's getting late, and I'm 55 now, and I need to start now. It's going to be a whole different process, isn't it?
Hopefully that person that's 55 has been saving money already.
Yeah.
It's going to be really hard for you to save enough money in 5 years for the rest of your life. So the sooner you start, the better it is. You know, when we started, in our office, we did everything in the beginning. It was me and him. Do you know what I mean? And we built this. We kept adding employees. And Tina, she has a super critical role. She also, I would say, handles to-go orders, right? So we've been working for a client forever, right? And they say, hey,
You're making everybody hungry.
I want to take out $10,000 of whatever from whatever policy it is that we have in place. They call Tina. Tina handles that whole process too. So she also does withdrawals besides just getting the policies in place. She's the one that handles them afterwards. We call her our client ambassador. So she really works with our clients to make sure they're getting what they want and the withdrawals in a timely manner.
Yeah. Now, Galen, we were talking about the 35-year-old and the 55-year-old. That 35-year-old is going to have one shoebox. He's just started saving stuff. And so for that person, man or woman, I would guess they would be somebody that would be much easier for you to work with than, say, the person that's been doing this for 20, 30, even 40 years and has a whole bunch of shoeboxes and has no idea what he put in them 15 or 20 years ago.
yeah, I guess how I would reply to that would be, it doesn't have to be easy on me. I kind of like the challenge sometimes. So,
yeah.
you know, a 35-year-old coming in, it is an easier plan because there's not a lot, but I do like the challenge of trying to figure out how to mix everything that a person had and make it all in one place and better. You know?
Yeah.
A lot of times the 35-year-olds are people that just left their previous employer that maybe had the same job since they were 20, 21 years old, and they have that money saved up and they're looking to put it somewhere else where they can still make contributions to it. Because usually once you leave an employer, it's kind of dead.
Yeah.
You're not putting money in it anymore. You're going to have to move it in order to keep putting money in it, or just make sure the guarantees are locked in, that you have it in a good product that's going to continue to grow.
That becomes a pretty big issue, doesn't it? What you're able to take with you when you leave one company for another in terms of what you've done with your retirement savings.
True. Yeah. I mean, each employer is different with 401ks and savings plans. So most of the time you have to be vested and you have to be there a certain number of years to actually take the matching money that they matched you while you were there over with you into a retirement account. The vesting schedule, I have actually seen people, recently that haven't met the vesting schedule and they didn't know how it worked. So that is a big concern of mine, people understanding those things.
Yeah, so they're figuring this is there for me because I've had this matching all along, and therefore that's already set, and nobody can touch that.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's sad, but yeah, I mean, you just whenever you are employed and you're putting into a 401k, just ask about the vesting schedule because it might change your mind. If you want to go get another position somewhere else, maybe you should stick it out for one more year because that could be thousands of dollars that you're missing because you want a different job.
Isn't that interesting that can really impact your life in such a way that you end up staying at a job for another year or a year and a half, 2 years, because you want to protect the investments that have already been made on your behalf, and that's the only way to do it.
Yeah, I mean, and it's not just, getting another job because you dislike the job. It's everybody in life wants to grow and get bigger, and, you just want to make sure that stepping stone where you were at, you're taking full advantage of.
Different opportunities come up. And
We've had a lot of people inquire, too, about going back into federal employment and how the years of service they had before will work for them. So there are some people out there that are smart enough to look into, hey, I'm about to make this jump back into the federal market or back into working for the state. What's that look like for me, too?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So many different issues when you're dealing with your retirement savings, and we talk about them with you fellas every couple of weeks here on Indiana in the Morning. And so if people do want to have you address a specific question, you're happy to do that, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So all they need to do is what? Write to us or write to you? Or?
They can call in here. They can give our office a call. We do want to actually answer people's questions, so we haven't really tried to push that much on here. But if anyone has questions, they can get in contact with you, get in contact with someone at our office. Shauna at our office, she's the other key player. She does all of our marketing. She's amazing. She did all of the cartoon work inside of our book. She's the one that created all of our logos, and she's the one that brought Carl and Barb to life in our book. And I also went to high school with her. Her and I were in dumb math together in 8th grade in Salzburg. Yeah.
Kayla just looked over at you like
She loves when he says that.
Yes. He finds a way to bring down not only himself but her too.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Hi, Shauna.
Hi, Shauna.
Hey guys, thanks for being with us. Folks want to get a question into you. Call them, call me, write to me, whatever it is, and we'll make sure the guys take a shot at it. Appreciate it this morning.
Thanks, Todd.
Thanks, Todd.
It is the voice of Indiana County. It's WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160, and WCCSradio.com. 25 minutes after 8 o'clock. Jake is here in just a couple of moments with a check of the news. CBS Sports right now.
This is Boomer Esiason with the CBS Sports Minute, sponsored by the United States Postal Service. Get